Next, important features of equilibrium constant. First one, the equation for K is applicable only when the concentration of reactants and products have attained constant value at equilibrium state. That means when the reaction attain equilibrium condition, then only the equation for K, equilibrium constant Kc or Kp is applicable. The next one, the value of equilibrium constant is independent of the initial concentrations of reactants and products. They do not depend on, the value of Kc do not depend on the initial concentrations of reactants and products we taken. Next point, the value of equilibrium constant of a reaction varies with the change in temperature. Next one, the value of equilibrium constant will vary with the manner in which the reaction is written. Next, applications of equilibrium constant. First one, prediction of the extent of reaction. At high value of K indicates that the equilibrium is more towards the product side. That means good yield of product, whereas low value of K indicates that the equilibrium is more towards the reactant side. That means less yield of product. So, the value of K is more, then the forward reaction is favorable. Reactants are converted into products, more amount of products are formed. But in the case of less value of K indicates the reaction is more towards reactant side. That means the product changes to reactants. The reverse reaction is favorable. The second one, prediction of direction of reaction. Using the equilibrium constant, it is also possible to find in which direction the reaction occurs predominantly, forward or backward. So, in which direction the reaction is predominantly takes place, that is forward reaction or backward reaction, can be predicted by using the value of K. So, for predict the direction of reaction, we know one term, reaction quotient QC. Reaction quotient QC. We consider a general reversible reaction AA plus BB reversibly gives CC plus DD. Here we can write reaction quotient QC is equal to concentration of C to the power stoichiometric coefficient C into concentration of D to the power stoichiometric coefficient D divided by reactants are A and B. So, concentration of A to the power A into concentration of B to the power B. So, this value familiar, which is equal to a constant, then we know the system is in equilibrium. So, the constant, the ratio become a constant. But here, this ratio become not a constant, then we say it as it is reaction quotient. So, the ratio of product of concentration of product raised to the stoichiometric coefficient to the product of concentration of reactants raised to the stoichiometric constant at any instant other than equilibrium is known as reaction quotient. So, this value, this ratio is not a constant, then we say it as that value is known as reaction quotient. Then in the case of pressure, we can written as QP is equal to Pc to the power C into Pd to the power D divided by Pa to the power A into Pb to the power B in terms of partial pressures. So, from the value of Kc and Qc, we can predict the direction of reaction. If Kc is greater than Qc, reaction quotient Qc, then the reaction will proceed in the direction of products. That means forward reaction is favorable. Reactant is converted into products. If Kc is less than Qc, then the reaction will proceed in the direction of reactants. That means products are converted into reactants, so the backward reaction is favorable. If Kc is equal to Qc or Kp is equal to Qp, then the reaction is in equilibrium. So, from this predict the direction of reaction. Then next, third application of this equilibrium constant is calculation of equilibrium concentrations. When the equilibrium constant of reaction is known, it can be used to calculate the composition of the equilibrium mixture. So, we can find out the composition of the equilibrium mixture. We know the equilibrium constant value. Then the relationship between equilibrium constant Kc, reaction coefficient Qc and Gibbs energy change delta G. So, the spontaneity of a process can be predicted by the term Gibbs energy change delta G. If delta G is negative, the process is spontaneous. If delta G is positive, the process is non-spontaneous. If delta G is 0, then the process is at equilibrium. So, delta G is negative, the process is spontaneous, means there is no need of external agency to occur that process. If delta G is positive, the process is non-spontaneous. Delta G becomes 0, the process is at equilibrium. Then the relationship between delta G, Qc and Kc. Delta G0 is equal to minus RT ln Kc. Change this natural logarithm to the base 10 log value. It is multiplied by 2.303. Then we get delta G0 is equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc, where Kc is the equilibrium constant, R is the universal gas constant, T is the absolute temperature, delta G0 is the Gibbs energy change under standard condition. So, this is very important equation. Next year also we need this equation. Delta G0 is equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Factors affecting equilibrium. What are the important factors affecting the equilibrium condition? You know, at equilibrium, the rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. So, the equilibrium constant Kp or Kc of a reaction is independent of the initial concentrations of reactants. The change in any one of the physical conditions such as temperature, concentration, pressure, etc. will alter the equilibrium condition. So, change in any one of these physical conditions will change the equilibrium condition. This change is governed by Le-Chatelier principle. So, this Le-Chatelier principle is very important one. What is Le-Chatelier principle? It states that if a change occurs in any one of the external conditions such as pressure, concentration or temperature of a system at equilibrium, the system will tend to adjust itself in such a way as to reduce the effect of the change. Any one of the physical condition will change, then the system will tend to adjust itself so as to reduce the effect of that change. That principle is known as Le-Chatelier principle. First, we will discuss the effect of change in concentration. The change in concentration, how it will affect the equilibrium condition of a system. In general, when equilibrium is disturbed by the addition or removal of any reactant or products. For example, hydrogen gas plus iodine gas reversibly gives 2HI gas. If hydrogen or iodine is added to the reaction mixture at equilibrium, then the equilibrium of reaction is disturbed. If any one of the reactant is added to this system, then concentration of this reactant become increased. Then the system will reduce that concentration by combining the other reactant to form corresponding product. So, to restore the equilibrium, the reaction proceed in the direction where in hydrogen or iodine is consumed. That means the forward reaction is favorable here. For example, hydrogen is excess added to this reaction mixture when the system is in equilibrium. Then the concentration of this hydrogen in the mixture increases. Then the system will restore the equilibrium condition by combining this excess amount of hydrogen with the remaining amount of iodine to form hydrogen iodide. So, the forward reaction is favorable in this condition. This can be explained in terms of reaction quotient QC. H2 plus I2 reversibly gives to HI gas. Here QC is equal to reaction quotient QC is equal to concentration of HI to the power 2 divided by concentration of H2 into I2. When any one of the reactant is added here, then the concentration of that reactant increases, then the denominator become increased. Then the value of QC decreases. Then addition of hydrogen or iodine at equilibrium result in the value of QC being less than Kc. Here Kc is greater than Qc, so the forward reaction is favorable. Similarly, the removal of a product disturbs the equilibrium and the reaction proceeds to the forward direction. Such removal of products is industrially important. For example, in the synthesis of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen, the product of ammonia is removed from the system. Then this enables the reaction to proceed in the forward direction. The removal of product maintains QC less than Kc. Next, effect of change in pressure. The effect of pressure changes on solids and liquids can be ignored because the volume of these are nearly independent of pressure. The pressure change is applicable in the case of gaseous reaction. This will occur only when the total number of moles of the gaseous products is different from the total number of moles of gaseous reactants. Here, listen, in this reaction, carbon monoxide gas plus hydrogen, 3 moles of hydrogen reversibly gives methane gas plus H2O gas. In this, here the number of moles of reactants are here carbon monoxide 1 plus hydrogen 3. So, 1 plus 3, 4 moles of reactants. Here products are 2 moles. 1 plus 1, 2 moles. Then the pressure is applicable only when the number of moles of reactants and the products become different. So, different number of moles here, the number of moles of reactants are 4 and here the number of moles of products are 2. So, these values are different. So, here the pressure is applicable. Here 4 moles of gaseous reactants react to form 2 moles of products. When the pressure of the system increased, the equilibrium shift in the forward direction. The direction in which the number of moles of gas decreases. Here the number of moles of gas decreases in the forward direction because 4 moles changes to 2 moles. So, here decrease in the number of moles. So, when increase the pressure, then the reaction shifted to the forward direction. Another example, carbon solid plus carbon dioxide gas reversibly gives 2 carbon monoxide gas. Here 1 mole of gaseous reactant and 2 moles of gaseous product. Here this is not considered because it is in solid form. So, here 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas gaseous form, 2 moles of carbon monoxide gaseous form. So, 1 mole, here 2 moles. When pressure is increased, then the reaction goes in the reverse direction because the number of moles of gas is less in reverse direction. So, 2 moles to 1 mole. Here 1 mole to 2 mole, the number of moles is more. So, here the pressure increased, then the reverse reaction takes place because the less number of moles of gas is present in the reverse direction. Next, effect of change in temperature. The temperature dependence of the equilibrium constant depends on the sign of delta H for the reaction. You know, delta H is the change in enthalpy. When delta H is negative, then we know the process is exothermic. In this case, the equilibrium constant decreases with increase in temperature. When delta H is negative, then the equilibrium constant decreases with the increase in temperature. When delta H is positive, the process is endothermic. In this case, the equilibrium constant increases with increase in temperature. So, for endothermic reactions, high temperature is favorable, and for exothermic reaction, low temperature is favorable. For example, N2 plus O2 reversibly gives 2NO. Here delta H is plus 180 kilojoule per mole. Here positive value, so we can identify it is an endothermic process. During this process, energy is absorbed. So, on heating or temperature increases, the forward reaction rate also increases. But another example, N2 gas plus 3H2 gas reversibly gives to NH3 gas. Here delta H is minus 92 kilojoule. So, from this delta H value we can identify it is an exothermic process. For exothermic process, low temperature is favorable. Low temperature is favorable. So, exothermic process, low temperature is favorable. So, in the case of preparation of ammonia, low temperature is favorable for high yield of ammonia. But practically very low temperature slow down the reaction and thus a catalyst is used. So, in the preparation of ammonia, low temperature is favorable because it is an exothermic process. Next one, effect of catalyst. A catalyst does not alter the position of equilibrium. So, the equilibrium constant is not affected. But catalyst increases the rate of forward and backward reactions to the same extent. Thus, it enables the reaction to reach an equilibrium state faster. When a catalyst is used, which enables the reaction to reach the equilibrium condition faster. For example, 2SO2 gas plus O2 gas reversibly gives 2SO3 gas. This is a very important, industrially important method of preparation of SO3. The rate of reaction is so slow that it does not give significant amount of product SO3 even after keeping the reactants for a long time. The presence of catalysts like vanadium pentoxide or platinum enhances the rate of reaction. Otherwise, the rate of reaction is very slow. So, the catalyst helps the reaction to easily attain the equilibrium condition. Next one, the effect of inert gas addition. What is the effect when an inert gas is added to the equilibrium mixture? If an inert gas like argon is added at constant volume, it does not disturb the equilibrium as there is no change in molar concentration. The reaction quotient changes only when the added gas is a reactant or product involved in the reaction. So, here the inert gas is added, then there is no change in the equilibrium condition because if the added substance is a reactant or product, then only the equilibrium becomes shifted. Now, we can simplify on problem. The equilibrium constant Kp for the reaction C2H6 gas reversibly gives C2H4 gas plus H2 gas is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 at 900 Kelvin. In a certain experiment, C2H4 hydrogen and C2H6 has partial pressures of 0.1 atm, 0.01 atm and 0.2 atm respectively. Is the reaction at equilibrium? If not, in which direction the reaction will proceed at this temperature? So, the equilibrium constant Kp is given, then the reaction at this reaction is in equilibrium. That is the first question. If not, in which direction the reaction will proceed at this temperature? Here the reaction is this one. Then pressure of C2H5 is 0.1 atm, pressure of H2 is 0.01 atm, pressure of C2H6 is 0.2 atm. Then Qp. Qp is equal to pressure of C2H4 into pressure of hydrogen. These are the products divided by pressure of C2H6. Then substituting the values, then we get 5 into 10 raised to minus 3. Qp is 5 into 10 raised to minus 3. We know here the Kp is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. When Kp is greater than Qp, forward reaction is favorable. Here the same condition, Kp is greater than this Qp. This is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 which is greater than 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 as Qp. Then the reaction is not in equilibrium. When Kp is equal to Qp, then the reaction is in equilibrium. But here Kp is greater than Qp, so the reaction will proceed to the forward direction to the formation of products C2H4 and hydrogen. So this reaction is favorable for forward direction under this condition.